Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I'm Shireen Bhan. Every now and then we see manufacturers going for product upgrades. These upgrades, sometimes cosmetic, sometimes a lot more than that, actually help a product stay relevant in a category and perhaps also consolidate dominance and market leadership. BMW decided to put its worthy X5 under the knife. We tell you what's really changed.
The BMW X5 is a really successful SUV for BMW, and in fact it is the SUV that created the format as we know it today. A big car that likes the roads, handles, does a little bit of off-road work, and it's that format was created right here by the X5. It's been in the market for a long time, and now it's time to meet this, the new third generation X5.
The new generation of the X5 shares no body panels with the previous car, and all changes at the front bring this car into the current visual style of the other BMWs. The most noticeable thing is the flat-bottomed bright white corona rings, which go nicely with the optional adaptive LED lights. The driving lamps are positioned higher and can also be LED powered if you want. On the sides, it's easy to spot the extra length as well as a slightly lower height. And viewed from the back, the large and stylish tail lamps stand out, while the twin exhausts add to the character. Overall, the X5 is now more of a luxury and sport fusion and is very much car-like and less muscular than before. Apart from a noticeable and welcome move to more upmarket materials, the big news is the new third row of seats that can, if you avail the option, turn the X5 into a 7-seater. These new seats aren't all that spacious, and we don't know yet whether this option will come to India or not, but this is still the first 7-seater X5.
When BMW built the third generation X5, they extended the platform in length, and you can immediately tell the benefits when you sit in the back. This seat is adjusted for a passenger about my size, about 6 foot tall. Passenger because this is a left-hand drive country. And as you can see, I have a lot of leg room, I have a lot of knee room, there's decent shoulder room and head room. So if you were to sit 3 people here, they'd be very comfortable. And one of the big reasons why this happens is because despite this being an all-wheel drive car, BMW have managed to get a relatively flat floor. There's only that much of intrusion into the floor, and that means the guy who sits here in India, when you do load up this car with 5 people, that is going to happen. The guy who sits here will be quite comfortable, and I think that in itself is a significant improvement in the interior. What is really stunning is that all of this has happened without any kind of apparent compromise anywhere. The greenhouse is still very airy, there's still lots of space in the car, and in this white color it looks even more spacious.
Now let us talk engines. In international markets, the X5 will initially be available in 1 petrol and 2 diesel versions. The X-Drive 50i features a 4.4-litre twin-turbo V8 petrol that puts out 450 PS of max power and 650 Nm of peak torque. All this power helps propel the SUV BMW says to 100 km per hour in 5 seconds flat. It isn't, however, confirmed whether or not this variant will come to India, but what we are driving today is definitely headed here.
The engine under the hood today is a 3-litre straight-six single turbo, the X-Drive 30D, and it's an engine we know well, but it's been retuned. What we get now is 560 Nm of peak torque and 258 PS of power, which makes this quite a mover as far as diesels go. But what makes it really special is the fact that it works brilliantly well with the 8-speed automatic. You almost never know where the gears are changing, and we've done about 140 kilometers already today, and you just don't know when the gears are changing. You just know that you're in the right gear at the right time, and that's great because that's what we associate with twin clutch gearboxes. So for an 8-speed automatic to come that close to the feel of a twin clutch gearbox, very nicely done.
BMW says the sprint to 100 km per hour takes a claimed 6.9 seconds, which is 0.7 seconds quicker than the outgoing model. And despite the power going up slightly, fuel consumption has improved by a claimed 16%. Out on the road, the engine now feels much more refined and power delivery is linear. Cruising at high speeds is even more effortless, making the new X5 a great highway companion. There are also various driving modes, including the new Eco Pro mode that alters the throttle response and transmission characteristics to improve fuel economy. A coast function has also been included, which decouples the engine from the rest of the powertrain to help coast without engine braking at high speeds. And that isn't all that has changed in the hunt for economy.
This X5 becomes the first X5 to get electric power steering, and like all the changes BMW made to these cars, it makes the car more convenient to drive. What happens is that heavy steering wheel that you have to struggle with in the city is gone, and it's replaced with a far more convenient feel. But when you switch to sport mode, it weights up a little bit and gives the car a little more feel. And I think there is a little bit of loss in terms of the feel of the car when you're going around the corner, so that's a negative. But I think the big positive which outweighs it is the fact that this is a much easier car to drive in terms of physical effort, which I think is a good change to make.
Driving dynamics have also improved, and though the diesel felt slightly front heavy, the experience is now more car-like and less SUV. To still further improve the dynamics, you can opt for the adaptive suspension package, which gives you torque vectoring as standard. The all-wheel drive system is now more intelligent and lighter, and another new feature in the X5 is the new X-Drive status display. This function uses real-time 3D graphics to display body roll and pitch data. We found this feature quite handy while off-roading. Yes, off-roading. The X5 does do a determined job of handling the rough stuff, but in stock form it's limited by its road bias tires. BMW have chosen to keep it closer to a car in feel, and I don't think that is either a surprise or, for that matter, something that needs to be fixed.
If you take the new X5 by the parts, you'll notice small improvements in every area. So ride quality is a little bit better, handling is a little bit better. But when you take the whole package together, this is a significantly better car than the outgoing X5. The X-Drive 30D, this car is what will lead the charge for BMW in India, and we're expecting a launch announcement in December or January. What remains to be seen is what the pricing will be like. We're expecting this car to be only 2 or 3 lakh rupees more expensive than the outgoing X5. This will be the only car in the lineup initially, and a smaller diesel engine and maybe a petrol alternative will get added to the lineup later on. Overall, I think the third generation X5 totally rocks, and when BMW brings this to India, I think this will cause quite a stir in the premium SUV segment.